evening, everybody. It is John. That is right. It is now time, even though we're a little bit late. It is time for WrestleScope Weekly. Oh, and we got to click the live here on TikTok, and we'll actually start the introduction once again. Hello, everybody. It is John. It is WrestleScope Weekly. Thank you for tuning in to the WrestleScope channel here on YouTube, here on TikTok, here on Twitch. We are everywhere today. That's right. And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about in the world of professional wrestling this week. It's been one of those wild and crazy weeks again in professional wrestling, coming off of Wrestle Backlash, whatever you want to call it, WrestleMania Backlash, which was actually a pretty good show, minus the disaster of the zombies. And actually, I will be quite honest, I did not end up watching most of that pay-per-view. I had something else going on that evening, and I ended up only catching the main event. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Yep. Yeah, told me you'd be here, Eric. Thanks for jumping in. Greatly appreciate it, my friend. So, yeah, we've got a lot to talk about this week. We have to talk about wrestling going live again in July. The world is coming back together. That's right. And we will be able to see live professional wrestling once again in person, starting in July. And it's not just AEW, it's not just WWE, but Ring of Honor have announced it as far as their big show in July. MLW is going to be doing it. There's going to be a lot more. Zello Pro has already been out. Some of the independents have been out doing smaller shows. So we're going to be seeing a lot more. I am excited for that. We also have to talk about releases. And, you know, it's been a little over a month since we saw the big releases come out of WWE, and we got hit with two different sets, two different ones this week. Wednesday, we got surprised by a handful from NXT, and then the big one came, was it Friday? No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday it came out. So we'll talk about that one as well. And whatever else you want to end up talking about here this week, I'm going to actually open it up to kind of an open forum here if there's things that you want to talk about. Obviously, we have the big show coming up next week for AEW, Double or Nothing. And I will do a kind of a preview and prediction show next week on that. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to do that. I have to see how the schedule works out. And obviously, we will have the Memorial Day weekend edition of the WrestleScope Weekly. That's right. Can you believe Memorial Day is in 8 days? The unofficial start of summer here in the United States is here in 8 days. And I'll tell you, here in Wisconsin, it feels like summer right now. I am, you can tell, I just got the haircut today. You know, me and the boy went out today and got the haircut. Not 100% thrilled with it. I mean, it looks good. It looks all right, but it's the summer cut. But it was hot. It was like summer hot outside today. And I'm not complaining because I am not a winter fan in any means whatsoever. I am not a winter fan. So I've actually got to admit something here first. You know that we have been in the midst of the 61 days of WrestleScope. And I have done a fantastic job of hitting every single day with the exception of yesterday. I did not do yesterday. I got onto TikTok yesterday. I didn't end up hitting YouTube yesterday. It was a long day at work yesterday. Had a school event last night. We got home late. And by the time I got home, I was just feeling like garbage and didn't end up doing anything. And I was planning on doing one later in the evening. Never got around to it. Then I was going to do one this morning as well, to kind of make up for it. Like, okay, I didn't do yesterday, but I'll do two in one day. That didn't end up happening. So what I'm going to do, I'm still working on doing 61 broadcasts in 61 days. Unfortunately, it will not be 61 straight days. I made it to I made it to 51. No, 50. I made it to 50. So Thursday was number 50, and it was kind of a big one too. I think. I think it was the Velveteen Dream news that I hit with on Thursday. So I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I'm going to keep going. And next week, let's see who I can't see who the sexy boy ABCD. Hello on TikTok. How are you? For whatever reason, my brightness is way down on TikTok today, so I don't know what's going on. All right, so what we're gonna do, I think we are gonna do Scooby-Doo the movie new. All right, Glenn. If you want to talk movies, head over to Parts Unknown. I think they'll talk about movies over there. Let's talk about live wrestling, and let's talk about how the world is getting back to normal. We've had announcements over the last 10 days now. It was a little over a week ago that AEW announced that they were going to be doing live shows. Okay. Who is that asking that on TikTok? What do you think about Ryback? Well, we know what his Twitter poll ended up being the result, and I kind of agree with it. Am I happy that Daniel Bryan is no longer in WWE? Well, I don't think he's officially gone. I think he's got a handshake agreement with Vince McMahon right now. Even though Impact Wrestling is teasing Daniel Bryan showing up there, they're teasing everybody. They're teasing everybody coming over there, and it's not going to happen. Samoa Joe, yeah, probably. Chelsea Green is almost a lock to go to Impact Wrestling. The Iconics, maybe Peyton Royce and Billy Kay or whatever their new names are going to be, possibly. I don't know. I would love to see them in AEW. I think they need to be in AEW because they could just do some amazing things with some of the women there. So we shall see. But anyways, back to live shows. We'll do the Ask John Anything a little bit later here. AEW announced that starting mid-July, they're going to start doing live shows. WWE then made their announcement that starting July 16th with SmackDown and leading into Money in the Bank, they're going to be doing live shows in front of fans again. Ring of Honor is going to be doing live shows. MLW has announced it. So at least in the United States, things are getting back to normal. We're going to have full crowds, live fans. Actually, it's going to be interesting. Next week, Sunday, they're going 100% capacity for Double or Nothing at Daly's Place in Jacksonville for, because I don't think they're actually doing it in the stadium. I think they're still doing it in Daly's Place, I think. If I'm incorrect, somebody please correct me on that. But I was under the impression it was going to be in Daly's Place still, but they're going to full capacity. But we're talking arena and larger outdoor venue shows now for WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, and MLW. This is exciting because we haven't had anything like this since the beginning of March 2020. Yes, AEW has had some fans at their weekly events at Daly's Place. I think 1,000 to 1,500. We saw what WWE did with WrestleMania, and it went off very well. I had not heard any major issues with anything going on at all as far as COVID. There may have been just a couple that came out of there, but it's great to see it happening. And they've already announced a few shows. Full Gear for AEW is going to be in St. Louis. Speculation is All Out again is going to be in Chicago. They have announced a couple of live shows as well where they're going to be in July. So this is exciting to see. Have not heard anything yet if NXT is going to end up going on the road. They may continue to just keep doing what they're doing, which is good. I'd like to see takeovers go back on the road again. Maybe they just do takeover on the road. That would make a lot of sense. Go into the cities where the big WWE pay-per-views are going to be and go back to doing that. So we got that news. Big news out of AEW again this week, where it was announced that starting in January of 2022, Dynamite is going to be moving to TBS, which obviously, if you know, is a Turner Broadcasting partner of TNT and True TV. So no major changes there. It's TBS is in as many households as TNT is, as far as cable and satellite subscribers. And they are also, starting in August, going to be adding a new Friday night show called AEW Rampage, which is going to start on TNT and then move over to TBS also in January. It is going to be primarily pre-taped. They're going to tape the 1 hour show on Wednesday night with Dynamite, and then they will have live special shows 4 times a year leading into their pay-per-views. And those will be in the same cities as the pay-per-views. But AEW is adding another show. So coming in August, you will have Monday night, Dark Elevation, Tuesday night on YouTube, AEW Dark, Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite, and then Friday night, immediately after SmackDown, AEW Rampage. They've been talking for a while that they were going to do this, that they were going to add another broadcast on Turner Television, on a Turner network, and they've done it. They're going to do it, and it's very interesting to see that they're going to be piggybacking basically on SmackDown. They're going to be coming on immediately after SmackDown. And Tony Khan, in an interview this week, I don't remember who the interview was with, he was asked, was there any consideration into doing a 3rd hour of Dynamite? And they said, no, absolutely not. And I think that's the right move, because you take a look at a 2 hour Dynamite, you take a look at a 2 hour SmackDown, and then you look at 3 hours of Raw. And the day and age of, and this topic has been beaten to death by so many people, but the day and age of 3 hours of Raw is over. Quite honestly, when the Monday Night Wars ended, they should have scrapped the 3rd hour. They should have just gone back to 2 hours of Monday Night Raw. But for 20 years now, it's been 20 years since Vince McMahon bought WCW. Take that into consideration. There may be some of you that are viewing this right now, or if you're listening to the audio podcast, that you may not have been alive when the Monday Night Wars went on. You may not have been alive when WCW was bought and Vince McMahon showed up on both broadcasts, and Shane McMahon showed up in, I forget what, Panama Beach City, Florida, in the ring, in a WCW ring, right after Sting and Ric Flair had the final official WCW match. That's kind of a scary thought. Or some of you are young enough that maybe you were only a couple years old and you don't remember it. That is a very valid point, Eric. You hope AEW doesn't overfeed their product to the audience like WWE does. I don't think they will, because what they're doing differently is, I don't know how many of you actually watch Dark Elevation and Dark on YouTube. I love those two shows because, one, they're on YouTube. After they premiere, you can watch them anytime. I typically watch them the next day at work. And it's a great showcase of younger talent they're trying to bring in. Some talent, and if I could find the names, actually some talent that has appeared on Dark and Dark Elevation are now the latest crop of prospects, trainees at the WWE Performance Center. It just happened. So it is great. They can kind of build their own storylines, build certain things up, get younger talent moved up. And with Rampage, I'm not sure what direction they're going to go, but it can be kind of almost like an extension, kind of like back in the days before there was the brand split, when you had Raw and SmackDown, things would carry over onto SmackDown that were on Raw. and you could kind of extend onto that. And I'm not talking about, the quarterly brand BS that they're doing, and having certain champions be able to flip back and forth and everything else. They would have storylines that would kind of continue on. And I see AEW doing that. At this point in time, I don't think it's an overfeeding of the product. But I understand, Eric, I understand your concern with that. And I think Tony Khan and all the EVPs at AEW are smart enough to see the mistakes that WWE are making and not make them themselves. Now, is AEW perfect? Absolutely not. They have made mistakes. We had the exploding barbed wire death match that kind of went south. The whole thing with Chris Jericho and you seeing that it was cardboard and a mat that he fell onto after Blood and Guts. Few other things have kind of gone, Luther. That's all I'm going to say is Luther. And if you haven't seen it, you got to find it on Twitter or on YouTube. I don't remember who he was wrestling this week. It was one of the Varsity Blondes. I want to say it was Brian Pillman Jr. And it was one of the it is botchamania level bad. So, but I don't want to take too much time talking about that. For my friends on TikTok, I am going to get to your questions. We will do that in a little bit when we get to Ask John Anything. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm a little concerned about more wrestling because I'm already struggling enough to watch essentially 7 hours of WWE every week and roughly 5.5 to 6 hours of AEW. We're looking at close to 7 hours of AEW now. I want to start getting caught up on things that are going on in NWA and MLW and Ring of Honor. There just isn't time. Maybe John needs to bring in a partner to help with that. It's a possibility. But it'll be interesting to see. I can't wait to see what they are going to do with this product. I am excited about it. All right, this is WrestleScope Weekly. It is the 61 days of WrestleScope. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be updated every time something new comes up on the channel. We are at 120 subscribers now. We are only 880 away from 1,000. We're almost there. We're over 1/10 of the way there. That's right. We're 12% to our goal of 1,000. So let's keep it going, folks. Would greatly appreciate your help. Share this video too. Let your friends know that we are here, what is going on. And always let me switch this over. Don't forget, I'm going to let this scroll for a while. Follow on Twitter, on TikTok, and on Instagram. To my TikTok friends, hey, we are over 3,800 on TikTok as well. Thank you very much. Marcus has a question here. Why did Jon Moxley go from Dean Ambrose to Jon Moxley? Well, Jon Moxley is his real name. Dean Ambrose was his WWE stage name. So obviously he couldn't take the name with him when he went. Much like many other wrestlers that end up going elsewhere from WWE. There are a few exceptions. AJ Styles is AJ Styles. He owns the rights to that name. Shinsuke Nakamura. There's a few, but most people when they go to WWE change their name because a lot of it ends up being because of licensing rights or trademark rights. The perfect example right now is Taya Valkyrie. John Morrison's wife, Taya Valkyrie, who is in NXT, debuting this coming Tuesday. She is... what is her name in NXT? I don't remember now. It's something forgettable. I liked Taya Valkyrie. I don't remember what her name in NXT is now. That shows how bad. Oh my goodness, look who's in the house. It is the legend, Adam Pearson. How are you, my friend? This show just got that much more intelligent because Adam is here. All right. So let's talk about releases now. We've gone from the good news of AEW adding a show. Yes, I knew Adam. Thank you. Frankie Monet. Yep, that gimmick is going to die fast in AEW. I wanted her to come in as Taya Valkyrie. I understand the whole trademarking thing and licensing and everything. I hate the Frankie Monet character right now, and I really hope it turns around. I really do. All right, let's talk about releases this week. And it's always a tough thing to talk about when people lose their jobs. I've been in that position before, more times than I'd like to admit, of losing a job and having to find a new one. And in the world of wrestling, it's even tougher because obviously with the pandemic, it's been very difficult. Traveling internationally is just... the dog is more over than her. That is true, Adam. It's hard. Things are beginning to open up a little bit more now, and there are obviously other options for people wherever they may be. But this week, we heard of some NXT releases, and actually, I do not have the full list in front of me, and I want to give all these people the proper... here we go. All right. So NXT releases that came out on, I believe it was Wednesday morning. Alexander Wolfe, which I believe it was Fightful Select, has confirmed that Alexander Wolfe actually technically wasn't released. His contract is set to expire on June 15th, and WWE basically said, we're not going to renew you. And we're not going to use you after you got your ass kicked on Tuesday night. So, Eric, I'll get to you. You've got a very good question, Eric. I will get to that in just a second. So, Alexander Wolfe is going to be going back over to Europe. He's going to do some great things once European wrestling really starts opening up. Also released was Vanessa Bourne, Jessamine Duke, Kavita Devi. There's actually a name missing here. Hold on. There is one name missing here because I thought there was 7 of them on Tuesday. Oh, and I lost it. And 2, hold on. I just lost the list here. Drake Wirtz, which I will get into him a little bit more. And, see, I had a great list up. Oh, here we go. Alexander Wolfe. Jake Clemens is one of the referees. Drake Wirtz was the other referee. Ezra Juz, Jessamine Duke, Vanessa Bourne, and okay, I'm seeing another name here that I didn't see earlier. Brandy Lauren. Okay, I don't recognize that name. I don't think that was in any of the lists that I had before. Vanessa Bourne is definitely going to end up landing somewhere. She will. I would not be surprised to see her in Impact Wrestling. Jay Clemens, I think he's going to end up landing a referee job somewhere. Alexander Wolfe, obviously, like we said, is going to end up in European wrestling. Jessamine Duke is the one that kind of surprised me. And that really ends any hope of a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match in WWE anytime in the near future. It's possible Jessamine Duke could end up coming back to WWE in 2022 or a little later when Ronda Rousey is cleared to come back. And 2 of my favorite ladies are in the house right now. Good Egg Carol. Hi, Vanessa. Yep. I'm not happy about Jessamine Duke. She was really misused. Let's see. Oh, we got another one here. Drew Gulak didn't get released. Drew Gulak was just on TV on Monday night. He's had a rose stuck up his butt and a rose shoved down his throat by Angel Garza the last 2 weeks. Okay, so let me address this, and this has been brought up before. And okay, Adam Pearson, thank you. Yes, Eva Marie has been under contract since last fall. way before any of the financial cuts and everything. She has been training. She's had pictures up. She's been in the PC since November training. They just didn't have anything on television for her. So Eva Marie coming back, the timing is just bad. It just looks bad. But Eva Marie has been within WWE bubble since November, months before any of this stuff happened. So Chelsea Green, the Iconics, Mickie James, all that has nothing to do with Eva Marie. And yes, Adam, I agree with you. The timing of this is awful. Absolutely awful. And no matter what she does, she is going to get booed because people believe that she was brought in place of the Iconics and Mickie James and Chelsea Green, and she wasn't. Okay? Can we just drop it? Please. I'm sick and tired of seeing this in every show that I watch. And it's all over Twitter. Eva Marie had nothing to do with those releases. Can we please just shut up and stop about it? Okay? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Here we go. Oh, where's Sasha hiding? She's doing a movie. That's right. Well, Carol, we shall see. Hopefully she has gotten better. Okay. Okay, I got a question on TikTok, and I can't see who it's from. Oh, my eyesight is awful. Why is talent being wasted on the main roster? They leave NXT and Vince ruins them. Because Vince doesn't know what the heck he's doing, okay? Vince McMahon is like 80 years old. He's surrounded by, as CM Punk said it, nonsensical douchebag yes men like John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard, quote unquote, CM Punk. But it's the truth. It is the truth. Wait a second. You can apply the same logic of what? And what is the Kronks? That COVID is old and surrounded by nonsensical douchebag yes men? Okay, mark that on the board. Twice he's mentioned douchebag. How many times is he going to say that on the show today? Okay. But anyways, yeah, we gave the list of other wrestlers. And then on Thursday, oh, thank you, Adam. You can apply the same logic even to the Gronk and COVID. I hate the Gronk. I can't stand the Gronk. Okay? We shall see. I don't know. I don't know when we're going to see her in the ring. Interesting question here. I don't think so. I think it's just WWE creative beyond the SmackDown Women's Championship have no clue what to do with the women on their roster. I mean, the Raw Women's Championship is an absolute disaster, and it's not because of the women. The women's tag team titles, don't get me started on that. Again, that is an absolute dog crap show right there. And again, it's not because of the women. It's because they don't know how to book it. So I think anything going on with Carmella right now, I think what they're trying to do is change her character, because you're bringing in an Eva Marie who is very similar to what Carmella kind of was, 6 months ago. So they're kind of trying to transition to that, and they don't know what to do with her right now. She is very, very talented and is just being misused. But there has been a lot of hate for Corey Graves online lately, though, for some of the things he's been saying. And personally, I'm actually kind of a fan of him. I really am a fan. Oh, Adam, I just saw your comment. We will open that up to discussion in a little bit. I just saw that. Zip. Yes, they're going to bring back another draft. Probably in the fall. I would guess after SummerSlam. That's typically when it is in the fall. It is. But do have to talk about this and open this up. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting you guys could see the comments in YouTube. But yeah, Adam, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Okay, I know nothing about Undertaker having a 15-year contract. I don't know anything about that. Hold on. I got a couple of I will get back to the Ask John A thing. Let's stick with the Adam Pearson, you were on fire tonight, man. Corey Graves likes Jar Jar Binks on Scrum. I didn't know that. I'm no longer a fan of Corey Graves. I like Pat McAfee more now. Did I just say it? Oh my God. Did I just say that I like Pat McAfee more than Corey Graves? Oh no. And see, I just got a notification on my phone. I dread to think what that notification could potentially be because I just talked about Pat McAfee. That frightens me. Oh, dear me. Maybe it's Pat McAfee saying, hey, maybe you're not that big of a jerk as I thought you were. Because, boy, I used to rail on him a lot. Okay. Oh, Carol, really? Really? Eric, I'll get to your question about pepper spray and D-bag. We'll get to that in a little bit. But speaking of D-bags, we have to talk about another release. We have to talk about Velveteen Dream. Yeah, I said it, okay? Not sad about this one at all. I have never been a fan of Velveteen Dream, and he was released on Thursday, and as WrestleScope Jr. just walks through the room. Yeah, Velveteen Dream is what there's been a lot of controversy surrounding him. Certain allegations that they're public, they're out there. But more and more stories have been coming out about him in the last few days, about how he's difficult to work with, how he is unprofessional, so many other things. There were people worried backstage when he's been appearing at the PC at open ring sessions that he was actually going to be brought in as a coach and a trainer. And finally, somebody pulled the plug on him. And again, I hate to see anybody lose a job, but this is a guy that I'm glad we will not see him on WWE TV anymore. I was never a fan of his character. I thought he was extremely sloppy in the ring. The fact that nobody got seriously injured with this guy in the ring is a miracle. But the personal side, the things, and again, allegations are allegations. There's never been any charges brought up against him or anything else. But in light of the world the way it is right now, when allegations like this come out about things that he was doing and pictures and everything else, it's hard not to go against somebody. We've seen it with Marty Scurll. We've seen it with Jack Gallagher and so many others that finally people are speaking up, and this kind of behavior cannot be accepted. You know, and I'm not talking cancel culture, you know, and especially as men. And, you know, there have been women that some things have come out about too. But as men, we cannot act like this. And it's about time that, you know, this kind of stuff is shot down. It really is. I've seen many comments from people, you know, if Velveteen Dream ends up in AEW, they're going to stop watching AEW. I could guarantee you Tony Khan is not going to bring this guy in. He is not going to bring this guy in. There will be plenty of people that will be standing at the door telling him, don't do it. I really don't see any major American company picking him up. If he wants to go anywhere, he's going to have to go to Mexico. He's going to have to. Okay, why in the world do we have a huge Star Wars fight going on in the YouTube comments? Really? Is it because I kept the Jar Jar Binks comment up there? What in the... Oh, yes, Adam, that... If you have not seen... I'm diverting here, and I know I'm getting distracted. If you have not seen the segment where Boogs comes out and interrupts Baron Corbin and plays his guitar and introduces Shinsuke Nakamura, and Pat McAfee goes absolutely crazy. You have got to find it. Yes, it was so funny. Boogs had his moment. We have been waiting for Boogs to have this moment. And yep, the segment was gold. And quite honestly, because of some family things, I ended up missing most of SmackDown. I'm probably going to end up watching it tonight because it sounds like it was it wasn't the greatest one, but okay. I got some clarification here, and I'm going to have to check into this. Undertaker's 15-year contract is similar to Goldberg's. Okay, so it's kind of like a 15-year. Okay, Perry brings up a good question. Going back to Velveteen Dream, why hasn't Jordan Devlin been released yet? I don't know. I really don't. I know there's been allegations against him too. Wait a second. Who's having a romantic relationship with Carmella? Not me. That's Corey Graves' girl, man. No, what? I'm getting accused of having. Oh, watch the language. We don't have the Alex McCarthy swear jar here. Great question. When is Tegan Knox returning? I don't know, but I hope it's soon. I really hope it's soon because I want her back. She needs to finish up her feud with Dakota Kai. That poor girl has just had so much bad luck with injuries, and I really hope that she's able to come back. But again, hopefully we're not going to see too many more controversies in wrestling and too many more releases because of these controversies. But just in the world we're living in right now, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to end up happening. All right, I've been having so many brain farts this week. It is the WrestleScope Weekly. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thoughts on Toni Storm's new finisher? It's confusing, man. I look at it like, what the heck is that? I don't know. I mean, it looks good, but yeah, you really hope WWE is done with releases. I'm surprised there hasn't been more. Quite honestly, I'm really surprised there hasn't been more. And if they've brought in another class of prospects into the Performance Center, I would think there would have to be more coming, but maybe not. Maybe not for a couple more months. All right. I've got a couple of questions on TikTok, and we are going to save them for the Ask John Anything segment, and my dinner is done. So, but so this is not going to be an hour and a half show. Yes, I saw her post. If Christian Cage gets an AEW figure before her, she's retiring. Let's go AEW, make it happen. I'm kidding. It's her character, and she does it so well. All right, you know what we're gonna do? Let's just go ahead and jump into it. I was gonna do it like, did I forget anything in what I was gonna talk about? Let's see. We talked about the releases. We talked about the new shows. We talked about live touring. I don't think there was anything else we were going to talk about. So it is time to ask John anything. And I got to go to TikTok because they have been very patiently waiting. I've got some questions here. Do I think we will see John Cena when crowds come back? Well, it sounds like that could be a strong possibility. I would not be shocked if he shows up at that very first SmackDown on July 16th. We could see the 16-time champion back. Will he get back into the ring? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. It would be kind of cool to see him back. Somebody had speculated earlier today, I think it might have been Pete Quinnell, actually, that the turncoat idiot of Lost Intangibles. Yes, another guy from Wrestle Talk that I'm taking shots at. I'm going to give Louis Dangor a little bit of a break today. I think he was the one that had said, or somebody in their Ultra chats had said, that Cena will enter Money in the Bank. Please no. Don't let that happen. Let's see. Do you think Jimmy and Jay will get along? Eventually they will. As far as next week, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Roman is either going to say that Jimmy is not going to wrestle, and Jimmy is going to end up having to go into that tag team match solo, or something else will happen. How long do I think the father and son tag team is going to last? SummerSlam. It's going to last until SummerSlam, because Jimmy and Jay will get back onto the right track together. They will be a tag team again, and Jimmy and Jay Uso will end up winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam, and then we will end up with hopefully a prolonged feud between the Street Profits and the Usos, which would be kind of cool. Okay, so I think we have cleared. Eric, what do I think of Moxley's new music? All right, well, now that they have come out with a second version, Tony Khan listened to what I had to say. Okay, not just me, but lots of other people. He came out in his match against Nagata with the original version of Wild Thing, which is a great iconic song, just does not match Jon Moxley. And I had called for the 80s X version from Major League to be played. And what did they do this last week? They brought it out, and I popped big time for that. I was so freaking excited when I heard that. It is perfect for Jon Moxley. And since we're talking about Moxley and obviously his match with Kingston and against the Acclaimed, Platinum Max Caster, this kid is a freaking superstar. I love his raps during his intros. They are absolutely... Oh, Adam, yes, that's the other big story. Thank you. We'll get to that in a minute. Platinum Max Caster is a superstar right now. Give the kid the mic more. My goodness, the way he ripped on Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss 3 weeks ago, and then when he dropped the oral sessions on Wednesday night, oh my goodness, I fell out of my chair, but I knew he was going to do something great. Eric, with another question. Do I think Darby losing the belt to Miro was a smart move? Yes. Absolutely yes. Oh, that brings up, actually, we've got two huge stories to talk about on the injury front. So, Eric and Adam, thank you very much. Do you think Morrison will finally get the push he deserves since Miz will be out for a while? Okay, so let's talk about the Miz. Unfortunately, during the zombie ridiculousness on Sunday night at WrestleMania Backlash, the Miz suffered an ACL injury. I still have not seen how severe it is, if it's a full tear or a partial tear. No updates on that right now. But John Morrison, if this dude does not get a push right now, something is wrong. But the problem is, okay, you've got to make a decision here with John Morrison. Do you turn him into a babyface and let him be the one that ends up having maybe kind of a longer feud with Sheamus for the U.S. title? If you keep him a heel, what are you going to do with him then? Who are you going to have him feud with? You got to give him a push. We saw match number 7,000 between him and Damian Priest on Monday night, but we finally got to see the John Morrison that WWE fans have been clamoring for. We finally got to see it, and that's what we need to see. So hopefully, whatever the timeline of Miz being gone, and again, we wish all the best to Mike the Miz Mizanin in his recovery from his injury, his first major injury in his career. But kind of good timing in a way, he could go home, spend some time with his beautiful wife and his daughters, take some time off, recharge his battery. I think he's 40 now, 39 or 40. No, 37. He's in his late 30s, might be 40. But regardless, this is a time for him to recharge his battery, because he's been working hard through this entire pandemic era. Come back, hopefully be back in time for WrestleMania next year, and they have a huge WrestleMania match between The Miz and John Morrison. That would be fantastic. So we have to talk about the other one, and I cannot believe that I biffed on this one again. Brain farts. It was announced on, I believe it was Wednesday morning from New Japan Pro Wrestling that Will Ospreay, their IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, suffered a neck injury in a match on May 4th and is going to have to, he has vacated the IWGP Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. As of right now, I have not seen anything on decisions that they have made on what is going to happen with that title. This is a really tough thing for New Japan because they have been struggling. There have been a lot of question marks about booking and certain things that have been going on. Hopefully they can bounce back from this. This is an opportunity for New Japan to really do something to solidify themselves for the next couple of years here. The pandemic has really hit them hard, especially with talent. I would be very interested to see what they do. This would be a great time for them to heavily tease that maybe Kenny Omega is going to somehow come in and vie for that championship or wants to vie for that championship. And you get a whole bunch of Japanese wrestlers that step up to say, no, we are going to defend the honor of New Japan Pro Wrestling and not allow this outsider. Oh, you think they'll make the G1 for the title? That would be huge for the G1. Oh, that would be awesome if they did that. That would make, I mean, the G1 is great. That would make that much watch viewing for me. Absolutely. That was great. But yeah, again, Will Ospreay is heading back to, he has either gone back to or is heading back to England to rehab his injury, to recoup. Hopefully he's going to be okay. This is the second time in his career he's had a neck injury. Hopefully it will not be debilitating to him. We wish him all the best as well. So, going back to Eric's question, do I think Darby losing the belt to Miro was a smart move? Absolutely. We finally get to see Miro as the destroyer that he is, though I have to question their booking right now of booking him against Lance Archer at Double or Nothing. Why would you do that so soon? I don't get that. Have Miro just beat the living snot out of some people for a while before you really give him a really solid contender for the title. Who is really going to benefit out of this? I mean, unless they go to like a double count out or a double DQ or something, you can't have Lance Archer lose clean because that'll just make him lose bad. You're not going to have Miro lose the title right away. Maybe you have some screwy, I don't know, interference of some sort. I don't know. We shall see. But no, I think giving Miro the belt is a good thing. You know, he was stuck in that whole best man thing with Kip Sabian and that whole battle with the best friends for way too long. It's about time. You know, he had a phenomenal promo on Wednesday night, thanking Jesus Christ for keeping him safe and for having his powers and abilities and everything else. I absolutely loved it. That was great. Who is Jade Cargill going to sign with? Nobody. I think they need to stretch this out. I think it was Alex McCarthy that brought this up on Friday's Wrestling Daily of what this is shaping up to be is much like when Macho Man Randy Savage first came to WWF and you had everybody clamoring for him. Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Bobby the Brain Heenan, I think Captain Lou Albano, and there was a couple of big managers that were vying for him, and then all of a sudden he announced he introduces Elizabeth. And maybe they could go in the opposite direction where Jade Cargill brings in this just incredible looking guy to be with her. You know, I don't know. Or maybe she just stays alone. She doesn't need anybody. She's good on the mic. She looks fantastic by herself. She doesn't need anybody, but I kind of like this whole, she's the blue chipper. Everybody wants to sign her. It's kind of a cool storyline. I like it. I really hope they push him because I hate to use the word deserve, but he deserves better treatment than he has gotten in the last 18 months. Actually, really, since he got called up on the main roster 2 years ago. It has been a hot mess for him. I like the fact that he attacked Big E because they can have a good feud. You can get Big E away from the IC title for right now. Get them away from it. Have those two, have a feud, battle around for a while. I think it could be interesting. Somebody had mentioned on Twitter that maybe they're going to turn it into a fatal 5-way or a 5-man ladder match for the IC title at Money in the Bank. First of all, they don't need another ladder match. I think quite a few of those guys could vie for spots for the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't know what's going to be next for Apollo Crews. Maybe it will be Kevin Owens. I don't think we've seen the end of KO and Sammy yet. Or do they bring up yet another contender for him? We shall see. But I sincerely hope that he doesn't fall. Well, I wouldn't call it an IC title vortex, Adam. I mean, they've got some quality talent battling for that title right now. And I kind of like it, to be perfectly honest. But they need to push him. They need to give him a good push. If they don't, they should have just released him. Let him go. He's had some good vignettes over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Give him something good here. I mean, that black mask he hit last night on Big E was just phenomenal. And what's good about this is going to help build up Big E. Okay, he's had some great battles with Apollo Crews. And yes, he came out on the losing end of it, but he should have won the IC title last night. He had it won until Aleister Black came out. So he goes into a feud with Aleister Black, maybe gets away from the IC title, and then maybe these two, Aleister Black and Big E, are in Money in the Bank. Or Big E is in Money in the Bank, and he's getting ready to go up the ladder, and Aleister Black costs him the Money in the Bank contract and continues this on. And you've got all these opportunities stolen from Big E. It's a great way to build him up as a monster babyface to a potential possible main event run against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which I'm still hoping will happen. Zip code, I've seen, you've put your comment up twice. MJF needs a title. What's it going to be? You're not going to put the TNT title on him. That makes no sense. He's a main eventer. And he is not going to, he doesn't need a tag team title unless you put it on him and Wardlow. But what does that mean for FTR? I don't think you can screw over FTR like that. MJF will not have an AEW sanctioned title until after Hangman Adam Page defeats Kenny Omega. MJF will be the one to defeat Hangman Adam Page. Adam, you could be right. You could be right, but that would mean that Aleister Black would have to be, he'd have to be a babyface. And with what he did last night, he's not a babyface. Absolutely not. Okay. Yeah, too good of an idea. Never going to happen. Yeah, WWE's not that smart. I know. Wishful thinking, right? All right. Anything else for Ask John Anything? Okay, I'm seeing people saying they should release Dana Brooke. No. They need to release half of the women's roster. No. I don't agree with that. Sasha Banks has to be a heel, but quite honestly, can we get her away from the cackling? I absolutely hated that leading up to WrestleMania. That stupid cackle she had. Go back to being the boss. Go back to being the badass woman that Sasha Banks was. Don't come out there and cackle. You sound stupid. But she will come back as a heel. Hands out, because that's what she needs to be. Definitely. She needs to be a heel. Sasha Banks as a babyface just is not good. All right. I think we're going to wrap things up. Adam Pearson, did we miss anything? Did we skip anything? Did we miss out on anything major this week? Thank you and Eric for reminding me about Miz and Will Ospreay and their injuries. Yeah, my dinner's done. I am really hungry, and it's porterhouse steak tonight, so I gotta go. What? If I could trick any animal to be able to have as a domestic pet, what would you choose? Oh my goodness. I don't know. What would I want? Actually, you know what? An elephant, because my wife loves elephants. Okay. Thank you very much, Carol. You are the ultimate good egg. I greatly appreciate it. Adam, one of these days, we're going to have to work it out schedule-wise here. I think once my soccer season ends in 2 weeks, I might be doing these shows earlier. I need to bring you on as a guest. We need to have you as a guest, since Mr. McCarthy, big time Alex McCarthy, doesn't have time for. No, actually, he's a busy man, and we've kind of chit-chatted. We're trying to figure something out for Alex McCarthy to might just be an interview with him. I don't think he's going to end up co-hosting a show with me. I think we're going to do an interview. So Eric, I would have to agree with that. Some of the women are struggling mightily in WWE right now, and they need to go promo school again. I agree with that. Thank you very much. Oh, Eric, you had to. All right. So, yeah, update on the car is not good. Okay. So, it will be 3 weeks ago on Monday. I was coming home from work and it was raining. It was raining again. And this was about a week and a half after I'd gotten the car back the last time, and it stayed dry. And I'm on the freeway and the car died again. So I had it towed back to the dealership, told them, you guys got to get this figured out. This is getting ridiculous. So they finally checked everything out. It took them 8 days to finally get back to me. And they are replacing the engine wiring harness. After replacing the car's PCM, the onboard computer, after updating a couple of things, and it's been now 10 days. And again, they had to order the part, no update again. So I've been without a car for almost 3 weeks. It is going on 7 weeks over the last 3 months that my car has been sitting in their dealership service center. So I sure as hell am not going to be paying for this. And I've been very nice to them. I have been very, very nice to them, but I'm not going to be nice anymore. And looking at the Better Business Bureau website, there's been a lot of complaints about their service department. I guess their ownership changed 2 years ago, and they've had a lot of problems. I got a couple of Adam Cole questions coming in here on TikTok. Adam Cole on the main roster, eventually, I think it'll be good. I think he's still got more to do in NXT, but he needs to get called up soon. Put him on SmackDown, please. Put him on SmackDown. I would love to see it. Adam, thank you very much, my friend. I will be in contact with you. Carol. Yeah, I love my car, and it ran great for 7 months. It ran great for no problems. And then all of a sudden, something went haywire. I drove through major rainstorms last year with no problem. I don't know what the heck happened. I think it's just kind of fluke catastrophic luck here, because what ended up happening, it was the alternator was bad and was throwing out extra voltage, which my mechanic believed ended up shorting out something in the PCM. They weren't able to fix the PCM and program it, so they recommended I go to a dealer. Otherwise, I would have stayed at my mechanic and he would have taken care of it. But they didn't have anybody to end up programming it. So it ran great for the first 7-8 months, and then it was, I think, November that things just started going south on it. Wasn't in any accidents or anything. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if I would have stopped myself from buying the car, because who knows what else I would have ended up with. All right. Hey, we hit an hour. It's the 4th consecutive show. Wrestle Talk Weekly, or Wrestle Talk. Oh my God, did I just do that? WrestleScope Weekly. No, I don't work for Wrestle Talk, because I don't trust any of those guys over there. Wrestling Daily, yes. Wrestle Talk, no. They all stab each other in the back over there. They're all turncoats over there. And that's, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it right now to my Wrestling Daily family here. We should not trust Louis Dangor when it comes to war games on Quizlemania. He is a Wrestle Talk guy. Yes, he's on Wrestling Daily, but he's a Wrestle Talk guy. At the end of the day, who writes his paycheck? Ollie Davis. Don't trust him. We need a different number 4 with Alex SP3 and Steph Chase. It can't be Louis. He can't be trusted. Yes, Adam, it's been a long day. It's been a long week. See, I can't say anything about Andy Danson. Andy Danson seems to be very straight-laced and just does his job. But everybody else, Fakador came in as a fake. Ollie Davis has flipped out a couple of times. Now Pete and Tempest have turned their backs. Luke, maybe he's okay. I don't know. I really like Simon Miller. Yes, I do. Yes, Adam Pearson for the 4th. Make it happen. Adam Pearson needs to be the number 4 guy. I'll be number 9 or 10 in the bullpen. I'll be sitting there. I'll be the guy that, that guy when they're down by 17 runs that they need somebody to go in at the last second. Update on EC3. Didn't he sign with Ring of Honor? I thought he signed with Ring of Honor. Isn't he over there battling with the Briscoes? Yeah, Simon Miller is an awesome guy. I've never met him, never talked with him. I love his content. He does a great job. All right, I'm getting out of here, everybody. Thank you very much. I will be back. Yes, SmackDown is definitely better than Raw. Though last night was kind of an off show, but every show has off shows. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. As always, my Wrestling Daily family, you guys are the best. Love it when you guys come over here and join into my show. Thank you very much. As always, follow me. It's been scrolling down there on the bottom. Follow me on all my different social media. I do have a Facebook page now. Not really promoting it heavily. Going to start putting content there. May end up doing some Facebook Lives as well. We shall see. But please, please, please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time new content comes up. And yes, the 61 days of WrestleScope, even though there was a pause in it, is continuing on. And on next week's Saturday show, I'm going to have an announcement about what the future is going to be, what is going to be happening next. Oh, Eric, you thought he was, I don't know. Haven't heard anything about EC3. Let's close out the show. Let's see what we can find. I'm not seeing anything. I don't see anything. Nope, I see nothing about him. So I'll take a look. If I find anything, I will post it here, and I'll post it on TikTok as well. But thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to Twitch. I haven't been ignoring Twitch either. I really got to get that going. I really got to start doing more over there. But thanks again. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to WrestleScope Weekly. And again, like I said, I will be doing Double or Nothing predictions next week as well. We'll probably do those on Thursday after we see Dynamite. Oh, wait. Dynamite's on Friday. Don't forget, Dynamite is on Friday next week. Ooh, is it going head to head with SmackDown? I think they're going head to head next week. Oh, man, that could be interesting. Yes, Carl, you as well, my friend. Thank you very much. You have a good night as well. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Going to have more content next week. And that's all. Have a great night. I'm going to go eat a porterhouse steak. We'll talk to you guys soon.